couldn't do it. I couldn't pull the trigger.
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Stacks. I'm your host, Bill Stacks, and today I got John Palermo.
Like Steve was a Mexican kid. They had no problem. As long as you earned, they didn't care. But you couldn't get into the crew, like, you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
could. They weren't made in Chicago like New York. Made guys. They didn't do all that stuff.
But there was kind of like an inner circle, though, right?
Yeah, we had our inner circle, but we had, like I said, boundaries. You had your West Side bosses, then you have boundaries. You know what I mean? You don't want to step on other people's feet. Then you have more boundaries, like the South Side crew or the North Side. You know what I mean? You have boundaries drawn. Now, Tony Ricardo, he renamed the Chicago Mafia to the Chicago Outfit. You know that. Now, the reason why he did that because he wanted to go away from the New York mob. You want to be like different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he loved. Ricardo did not let showmen like Gotti. Gotti would have got killed by the Chicago mob instantly. He pulled that crap in Chicago. He did not. He loved when they got publicity. Tony Ricardo, if you realize what he did, he went from Indiana all the way to the West Coast, and he took all that over. In Chicago outfit, Los Angeles, San Diego, that was all Chicago outfit influence out there.
Yeah.
Then people think there's territories. There's not territories in the outfit. Territories were when they had those big mob meetings. Tony Ricardo, it's online. It's in part of history. It's called a 1977 treaty. Tony Ricardo went to 5 families and he told them, he said, "Listen, we'll stay out of Atlantic City, but you stay out of Las Vegas." That was the agreement. So they went. They went to Tony
Yeah.
Ricardo was a powerful boss.
For him to keep Las Vegas for the Chicago outfit is huge.
Yeah. Well, what was said about him, Ricardo. Tony Ricardo had more brains at breakfast than Al Capone had all day. He was just a elementary school dropout. Because a lot of us back in the day, they all dropped out of grammar school. They didn't maybe entered high school and they dropped out. They were street thugs.
Yeah. There
But
was
that's
another guy you were talking about, the German.
oh, that guy's something. I met him a few times. He's just another breed of a person. You talk about psychopathic killer. This dude, I swear he would kill kids or kill a woman. I mean, he just like killing. He's like a killing machine. See, some of these gangsters are so afraid of this guy. Tony Spilotto's afraid of him. He told his family, he says, "Listen, if the German comes around here, he should lock the doors and call the police."
Man. Was there a lot of guys back in the day that were like that, had that type of aura?
Well, I suspect they all killed at one time. That's my suspicion. Now, getting back to collecting with Michael. Now, Michael tested me because he's trying to show me, I think, what I got to do if I belong to the crew. You know what I mean? He was taking me to the next level. So one day, I was shocked. He handed me a pistol, and he said, "Johnny, you got to take this guy out. He's not paying up. He's broke. He can't get no more money. He's just a bust out, and he's screwing with us. He borrowed so much damn money from us." I was told to kill him. Okay? Now, Stacks. I went to the guy's place, his nightclub. Walked back to his office. He was walking faster to go to his desk. I knew exactly what he was doing. He was going for a weapon. So I smacked him with the pistol. I got him to his all four knees. Stacks, I swear to God, buddy. I had my pistol, I had my barrel resting on his forehead. And I said, "You know what? This is graduation time. My apprenticeship is over. I do this, I'm in." You know what I mean? I'm in. So my gun was straight on his forehead. And for some reason, things got slow motion. You know what I mean? Everything behind him got slow motion. Started looking on his wall and see pictures of his family, his grandkids. I couldn't do it. I couldn't pull the trigger. So I know Michael had the guy eventually whacked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I said, Mike, I need a breather. You know what I mean? There's no time out, but I didn't commit myself. Remember, this is all agreement with me and Michael. I've been doing this if I like it. You know what I mean? So I need a minute. By the time the minute was over, they killed Michael. You know. So two of my teachers are dead, like I said, and then my stepfather came and approached me. You want me to be a cop in one of these villages, these corrupt villages. Now this is a big story by itself. So he says, two things you can't be. I said, yeah, what's they? You can't be the chief of police and you can't be the mayor. But you can be anything you want in this village. Okay? It's how corrupt it was in Chicago. They call Illinois one of the most corrupt states in the United States, and I believe it.
Yeah.
Now, I said, listen, I'll try part-time see if I like it. So one day, it was election time in this village. Oh, my father had it down pat, buddy. Let me tell you something. I voted 3 times, and I don't even belong to the village. the cry in Chicago, vote often. Vote early, vote often. Yeah, vote early, vote often.
Yeah.
So I went back because I was supposed to guard the ballots in the closet, So I open up the closet and I go, there's got to be more ballots here than there's people living in this village. He had a machine. He was stuffing the ballot boxes, guys. He had all the moving parts to his favor. So you got to figure, he got the mayor. Okay, it was corrupt, obviously. He got his mayor. He's got his chief of police. He's got the village under his control. That's how it happened in Chicago, in the suburbs. Who's gonna tell me?
All around Chicago too, right? It wasn't
Oh
just
my
Chicago.
God. I knew just the West Side, just my father's stuff. Probably happened in other places, you know what I mean? I'm gonna stick to stuff I do know because I don't embellish stuff and I'm not gonna speculate what other people do. My story is short, but it is unique. Okay?
Yep.
And I tell you something, it was gut wrenching writing my book. Okay? Now I'm on my second book to finish my story because I had no name recognition out there. And I tried to do my first book to be recognized. But unfortunately, I couldn't promote my first book because I was in the hospital 38 times. Now, and then unfortunately, the book came out. But now I'm starting to get, better at this, at this game. So my second book could be more crimes like we talked about, my influence, and how things went down. Everything happened by chance. It wasn't by choice. If you read my story, it's all my timeline. It's a little boy with a cardo. Then Steve came in my life to rob. You know what I mean? Then Michael came into my life. It all happened by chance, and them trying for me to get involved. You know what I mean? Me overhearing because I would never approach these guys, not in a minute, about doing this. It was them coming at me.
Yeah, but if you weren't born into this certain family, you wouldn't have
If I
access.
wasn't part of the crew, the inner circle, it probably would never happen. People think you can walk into a gangster and say, I want to be a gangster. It doesn't happen that way.
No.
No. So
you have to have an in.
I had the opportunity to do this stuff.
Yeah.
And,
So after your stepfather gets killed, what happens with you?
let me tell you about my stepfather. They finally indicted him. He had a good run. He was 30 years plus as a mob boss. And they didn't touch him. They said they investigated for 25 years. So if they're doing that, they know about me. Trust me. You know what I mean? I'm sure I'm in the file somewhere. You wouldn't find me in no FBI file or no. I'm sure my crime in Las Vegas, that crime probably hit the paper shredder. You know what I mean? I mean, these judges don't want nothing coming back at them. But anyways, my stepfather, 30 plus years, as a top mob boss. He had a great run. I'd say second to Tony Ricardo, because Ricardo never been in prison. My father was in prison. He was hijacked 2 truckloads of TVs back in the day. That's what they grabbed him on, hijacking. But 30 years run, they finally indict him on RICO. You know, a lot of gangsters get RICO charges. He was charged with paying up village officials. Because the camera caught the action, you know. He used this abortion clinic for people coming in giving him money, you know, protection or giving them money. So he contracted bone cancer, and I never seen a guy so happy who know he's gonna die.